So learning stations is not new, and learning stations becomes an integral part in the villages. Why we do that? Because each child is unique. Why that uniqueness is seen? The child's uniqueness comes by its pace of learning, pace, PSE, and inherent potential. Even if they have children with of the same parents, each child would be different because there is inherent potential. Then there is a inherent unique style of learning. So how they learn, they are all unique. So it has to be unique if we want them to benefit from learning. So that is one of the main reasons why we looked at using technology. Next slide, please. I can't see. Next one. Okay. So we developed this learning station. Then we said, okay, teachers are not trained. We know that. So instead of complaining that teachers are not trained, we just looked at whether we can train one girl from the village community to work as a facilitator in inclusive education, because inclusive education where the children themselves they are teachers to themselves. I'll explain how it works. So we called her as a facilitator, not a teacher, and we trained her and we used technology. Why we use technology is all this we are talking about UDL, it is all built into the existing technology. Whether you take Microsoft, whether you take uh, uh, Apple, it is all already built. Without universal design, it doesn't enter the market. So they already have all the features what we are talking about. It is all built into the program. So we are, in addition, because Amazon also supported our pilot, we also looked at Alexa. In Kannada, children call it as Alexa Ajji. Ajji means grandmother. Because of the existing parenting system, there were no one, there is no system where a child can ask questions and get answers. So we programmed Alexa, including the curriculum related questions, where children could ask Alexa and get answers. And we used this system where we had three computers with three Alexas and with three tablets, Samsung tablets, and all children, not just children with disabilities, all children from the village school, they spent time in the learning station. So what they did was, they did whatever they wanted. They could ask anything from how far is the moon or what moon has eats for breakfast to how much water is there in the Indian Ocean. So there was no ceiling on asking questions because Alexa was there to answer. They asked all these questions and they also asked the questions and they also documented their questions and what answers Alexa gave. And we said, don't trust whatever Alexa says. No, let us verify it, because when it's all learning process. No, it has to be acquisition, repetition, consolidation, generalization. I would not get into the learning pattern. They asked the Google whether Alexa is saying correct or not. It says the same thing. That is how the technology is developed. And they got that. They also got some visuals from Google where they could see. So we have completely UDL based visuals in Google where children could ask and get and verified it, and then they also wrote down what they saw. So this learning was also, we converted the entire NCERT curriculum, state curriculum, into learning outcomes, which was specific, observable, measurable, achievable learning outcomes. And all these questions were asked. And when they started learning, whatever the school was covering in 1 year, children could learn in 3 months. And this morning we had the rare diseases. A child with hemophilia who had no knowledge about English, she could present a paper within 3 months in English language in an UNESCO conference along with me. Even I thought I was surprised. I thought we are sending them to school. I'm sorry, Bharti. I know you will be all jobless when I say all
Not at all, huh? Not at all.
So it is possible that is, and when the government, when the government of Karnataka, when education department, Samagra Shiksha saw this, they said, what is this we are doing? We should be doing it because we have videos of children teaching fractions to their teachers. Sir, hagala sir, it hige. So we could see it actually children teaching their teachers because they had better knowledge. So we also established learning sessions in Delhi public school, and government of Karnataka Samagra Shiksha said we should be starting learning sessions in our rural schools. So in 7 districts, UNICEF came forward. So UNICEF, Samagra Shiksha and CBR, we developed these learning stations. Now they want to scale up learning stations in the entire state. Learning stations are completely UDL based and inclusive. Whether we are inventing any new technology, Srija madam, I'm saying there are complex problems, there are simple solutions. Everything is already built in. Everything is already built in. So there are some gamification of learning, which we are also working with the American government because they have a program called CAST. In CAST, from elementary to secondary, they have done the gamification of the entire curriculum in US, which is completely UDL based. So we are having a collaboration, but we want to do it taking the social cultural fabric of India, so that it is aligned with the state, district level culture, nature, ecosystem. So of course it all needs money, and we are in the process, so that the schools will be more in the background. There will be more focus like we had in our Vedic system. It is more on self-learning. Only self-learning is something which stays forever. So these learning sessions are, fortunately we could do it in 7 districts, and many CEOs are from the Jilla Panchayat. We have 5% of development budget allocated for disability. We have quantified, they have crores of rupees in each district. So they will be using this, and we are going to see these learning stations very effectively. So identification, understanding incidents, and understanding prevalence. So those screening, I will be, Trinetra is, a demo is given outside. Please have a look at it. Those who are interested can do it. But we all know that 3 is too late. When it comes to disability and when a child have a diverse need, 3 is too late, and it makes economic sense, it makes a political sense to identify below 3. You can prevent secondary disabling conditions almost to 100% if you identify and do that, and for that screening has to take place. So Trinetra looks at these aspects, but it's the age, it goes from 0 to 99. It is not just for children. So if you learning sessions really enhances the quality of learning. It is not just namesake inclusion. It is quality of learning, because we could see a child with cerebral palsy with moderate intellectual disability doing very well in learning. I would not compare, because there is there is nothing comparable when we are talking about children, but they could do very well. They were functioning to the optimum extent of their potential, and they were doing very well. And all this is possible. Next slide, please. So in rural school, we have also pictures of Delhi Public School. I think you can see them here. And this is the way they enjoyed learning, joyful learning. That is another your UNICEF principle. They enjoyed coming to learning session, and they refused to go back home. So that was a pleasure. And the why? Because it is no, UDL based, and it is based on joyful gamification principles. So I will not go into details of how it works, but gamification is the way, and it is nothing new. As I said, United States is using learning stations since 20 years. I have been seeing their learning stations. Learning stations is the best way. Now, government of Karnataka, Samagra Shiksha, they said, why cluster of schools, we'll establish a new school, we'll get money. I was looking at cluster of schools, but they said we have money and they could do it. So this is about gamification. I really, those who are really interested in taking the learning stations back in your schools, especially those who are from the villages, I should be very happy to do hand holding. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, ma'am. That was very